It's no secret that there aren't as many MMOs for PlayStation as for PC, but still, there are some classics and hidden gems available for PlayStation fans, along with a few upcoming titles for MMO players on the horizon. Let's start off the list with a few titles that are in development to hopefully be released soon. Chrono Odyssey is an ambitious MMO project developed by NPixel, designed to transport players across time and space in a sweeping narrative that explores myths, legends, and the complex weave of fate. Set in a multiverse, players will engage with various civilizations and encounter creatures drawn from a rich tapestry of lore, including Norse gods and mythical beings. Graphically, Chrono Odyssey is poised to set a new standard for visuals when it comes to MMOs on the PlayStation platform. Utilizing Unreal Engine 5, the game features stunning landscapes that vary from the ethereal realms of gods to war-torn dystopias. Chrono Odyssey is set to release in the fourth quarter of 2025. Dune Awakening brings the expansive and intricate universe of Dune to life in an open-world survival MMO format, developed by Funcom. Set on the iconic desert planet of Arrakis, the game blends the harsh survival mechanics with the complex politics and culture of the Dune universe, promising a deeply immersive experience. Players must navigate the hostile environment of Arrakis, where sandstorms can alter the landscape and the ever-present threat of giant sandworms looms. Resource management is crucial, as water is scarce and control over spice, the most valuable resource in the universe, can determine power dynamics among players. No specific release date has been announced yet, but the rumors state that the game will be released in early 2025, so it's hopefully right around the corner. Project LLL is a highly anticipated MMOFPS set in a dystopian future where mega corporations dominate the landscape. This title aims to merge the intricacies of an open-world MMO with the excitement of a third-person shooter, aiming to blend narrative depth and action-packed gameplay. Set against a backdrop of urban decay and technological omnipresence, Project LLL invites players to navigate a world fraught with corporate espionage, techno-sabotage, and urban warfare. The game world is designed to reflect a near-future reality, with towering skyscrapers, neon-lit streets, and a sense of corporate intrigue. No release date has been set yet. Fallout 76 was bad when it launched in 2018, but now, several years later, it has made a comeback and deserves some attention. It's not strictly an MMO, but since there are so few titles to pick from for PlayStation gamers, we decided to include it on the list as it does scratch that MMO itch. The game includes Fallout series mechanics such as the VAT system remade for real-time combat. In the beginning, Fallout 76 did not have any NPCs, but they were added with a 2020 update. Players can work together to build bases, and yes, you can attack and destroy the bases of other players. Speaking of PvP, the game has a battle royale mode called Nuclear Winter. TERA is a free-to-play fantasy MMO with action combat. Players need to be quick on their feet and perform actions at certain times, especially when they're fighting against BAMs, or big-ass monsters as the game's bosses are referred to. The official PC servers for TERA were shut down in 2022, but the console servers are still going and getting minor updates. 7 races and 13 classes offer more than enough choices to create a personalized character. Leveling is fun, and you will often lose yourself in the game world, which looks amazing. TERA has theme park gameplay that features numerous quests, PvE activities, and PvP modes, but the main draw is the action combat, which for a long time was touted as the best action combat in any MMO. Trove is a cute voxel-based sandbox MMO that came out in 2015, and it maintains itself as a popular game to this day, especially since it's free to play and easy to get into. The class roster includes funny choices such as Dino Tamer, Candy Barbarian, and Neon Ninja. This adventure game offers infinite realms made of destructible game blocks, and the fun lies in the slashing and dashing through dungeons made of colorful cubes. You can put your imagination to work to build personalized worlds and craft diverse items. You wanted massive, you got massive. This free-to-play FPS MMO has a Guinness World Record under its belt for an epic battle counting 1,158 combatants. In 2020, 1,283 players took part in one battle, breaking the record, and that's not even close to what the game can do. Planetside 2 supports massive battles with up to 2,000 combatants. A 3-faction system allows players to customize their characters with faction-specific vehicles, weapons, and other items. The optional subscription gives players more XP and resources, and the game shop only sells cosmetic items. The sequel to Bungie's now defunct console exclusive is a free-to-play MMO FPS with role-playing features and a catchy story. The game features 3 playable classes and a progression system based on XP. Players have access to thousands of gear items that allow them to personalize their characters. The story unfolds as players complete the main story quests. While it's really not considered a true MMO, Destiny 2 does have massive player interaction. It has co-op multiplayer that allows characters to team up for quests and missions. The PvP gameplay includes team arenas and various other scenarios, including a PvE/PvP mode. All your favorite and less favorite DC Universe characters come together in this comics-based free-to-play action MMO where players can become heroes or villains. Story-driven quests crafted by well-known DC Comics writers take players from Metropolis to Gotham. On their journey, they will meet iconic DC characters such as Batman, Superman, the Joker, and many others. Some are friends, some are enemies. This game is free to play with premium DLCs. Neverwinter came out back in 2013 and is still holding up to a degree in today's MMO market. The main draws are the fast-paced action combat and the Forgotten Realm campaign setting, which is filled with familiar characters. The game does have a few drawbacks like the in-game cash shop. The game's recent expansions, called modules, are mostly recycled old content, which has brought little value to the game. As player counts and the development budget for the game has dropped in recent years, it's still well worth checking out for players looking for fast-paced action in a setting that will be familiar to fans of other D&D video games, like Baldur's Gate 3. Warframe is a third-person action MMO set in a sci-fi universe. Players can choose from 30 specializations called Warframes. Each one comes with unique abilities that support customization. The weapon selection is impressive. More than 3,000 items allow you to blast your enemies in diverse ways. The combat is fast-paced and engaging. Players can team up for co-op activities, and they can fight each other in various PvP modes. While PvP is not Warframe's strongest feature, it can be fun if you find a stable group to play with. Black Desert Online is renowned for its incredibly detailed graphics and engaging gameplay, provided you don't mind a bit of a grind. Set in a high fantasy setting, BDO is known for its vast, seamless world, allowing for a truly open-world experience. The game's dynamic weather system and day-night cycle add to the realism, affecting gameplay in various ways such as changing NPC behavior and opening up specific quests. One of the standout features of BDO is its action-based combat system, which is more reminiscent of action games than traditional MMORPGs. This system requires precise control and active engagement, as players must aim their attacks, dodge, and counterattack in real time. There are also plenty of activities and minigames in BDO if you want a break from the grind, from setting up trade routes to sailing and fishing. For all the Star Trek fans out there, Star Trek Online is the perfect MMO. Not only does it let you explore the vastness of space, but it also features a deep and engaging storyline with plenty of lore to get lost in. Actors from the TV series will often make appearances as voice actors in the game. Plus, with regular updates and expansions, there's always something new to see and do. STO also has a decent free-to-play model that lets players enjoy most of the content without paying a dime. The Elder Scrolls series needs no introduction after successes like Morrowind, Skyrim, and Oblivion. The game is set in the world of Tamriel and features all of the lore and characters that fans of the Elder Scrolls series know and love. The game features a large open world to explore, with plenty of side quests and activities to keep you busy. Familiar locations from previous Elder Scrolls titles like Skyrim and Morrowind are available for players to explore. Since its release in 2014, the game has become bigger and better with regular updates and improvements. ESO has been dropping expansions each year together with DLCs and patches that add more content. 2 mega servers, one for Europe and one for the USA, house the player base so there is no community separation. Elder Scrolls Online doesn't have a required monthly subscription, but you will need to pay for the game and its expansions. The optional ESO Plus membership will provide you with most of the available content for a monthly fee. Path of Exile is another game that isn't really an MMO, but most players agree that it is so good that we think few will object that we placed it third on the list of the best PlayStation MMOs. For an action RPG, the game still has a few key features that make it feel MMO-like. In towns you will meet other players, you can group up with your friends, and it has a massive market. where you can trade with your fellow players. Path of Exile is celebrated for its complex gameplay mechanics, deep customization, and engaging boss mechanics. The game is set in the grim continent of Rayclast, where players take on the role of exiles, struggling to survive in a hostile land. Path of Exile is notable for its expansive skill system, which allows players to finely tune their characters through a vast skill tree and skill gems that can be combined in countless ways to create unique playstyles. Path of Exile 2 is currently available in early access, and while similar to the original, it stands out with updated graphics, new mechanics, and unique systems. It's also an easier entry point into the series, as Path of Exile 1 might be a bit complex for newbies after years and years of updates and added content. Throne and Liberty is a high fantasy MMO from NC Soft. This game stands out with its interactive environment, where changing weather conditions directly impact gameplay, adding a realistic layer to the immersion. The main draw, however, might be the large-scale PvP combat, which has been inspired by Lineage 2. Throne and Liberty garnered critique before releasing in the West due to an emphasis on microtransactions and a rigid combat system, so the release was pushed back to rework some of the game's mechanics. After the official release, though, the game has garnered mostly positive feedback and has turned into a decent modern MMO for both PvE and PvP players. PlayStation gamers can rejoice as one of the best MMOs is available on your console. Final Fantasy XIV, A Realm Reborn, was originally released in 2010, but was relaunched in a much improved state in August 2013. Final Fantasy XIV is one of the best MMORPGs available, period. This title has everything if you enjoy classic theme park gameplay coupled with great features such as player housing and an extensive crafting system. The game features fantastic graphics and an engaging story that will keep you occupied for hundreds of hours. For Final Fantasy fans, playing the game is worth it for the story alone. In addition to the main story, there are side quests, dungeons, and raids to keep you busy. One of the main appeals of Final Fantasy XIV is that you can have all classes on one character and switch between them as you like. The game plays great with a controller. The only downside is the initial purchase fee and the monthly subscription, but you get a serious bang for your buck, so it's all worth it. The free trial lasts for the entire base game and the first 2 expansions up to level 70 if you are not ready to make the purchase just yet. What do you think of our selection? Is there any other console MMO that should have been on this list? Let us know in the comments.